The simplest thing I do. I go, let's put this airdress in real fast. Put that one in. Boom. Make sure nothing down here. They've had this property at 4434 North 18th Street. I would just look right here, pull this out a little bit more. I don't care what nobody tells me. I'm making an offer at 30 grand. And why is that? Because I see the investors are paying 50,000. Simple as that. I don't need to, it don't, in my eyes, I don't need to be a rocket scientist. I don't need to go what is the asset repair value. I don't care. I don't care what the asset repair value is. I don't care none of that because I know if investors are paying around that price, right? That doesn't mean they already did all the math for me. I'm just going to add another buffer in that 20, 30K and then put my offer in. I'm not doing all this. Oh, what's my ARV value? No, I can kindly see it here. But me, I'm coming here because I'm look at this at St. Paul's. Look at this. What is this? Or in Colorado. This one sold for 50. I'm gonna look at it and say, okay, cool. Most likely a person gonna come in here and do a full gut. If they buy, if investors are buying here at 50, I'm gonna make an offer around like 25, 30. Even if it's for me buying it as wholesale, I mean me buying it for myself. I know if I'm buying it at 30 grand, I got a good number. I'm not even worried about the 70% rule. And then people are like, okay, well, what about if the repairs? And I know for a fact, I know a rehabber can't be that, got to be somewhat smart to put in. You buy for 50 to say the rehab is going to be 75. That put you at 125. I know it got to be a 200K comp or 180 comp around here that's on support. So say this, take this one right here. And I actually know this block. All right. This one it's at 155 and it's not all the way done. Right. So even if my comp was at 155, I know if I bought this one at around 25, 30 grand, it's kind of hard for me to lose. Right. So when I'm doing my numbers, it's like I'm throwing shit at the wall to see if it stick, but I'm not trying to spend 30, 40 minutes pulling comps on a house I'm never going to buy. That's a waste of time. I'm going to throw you my offer. You're going to give me a counterback. Then I'm going to do my comps off that. I don't even care about your first number is. My first number is 70. Okay, cool. That's out the window. I don't care. I don't even like my acquisition rate. The first number was 70K. All right, cool. Off on 30. Right? Because at the end of the day, I know where I need to be at. This is not like I don't need to go out there and touch it. I don't need to fill it. I just know, listen, if I can buy it for 30, I might keep it for myself. Or worst case scenario, if I don't like it, I don't like that particular neighborhood, it's investors around there paying 45 to 50K all day long. I can make a 20K spread on it without even doing no math. So I just try to keep everything for me. I just try to keep everything really simple and easy. I'll look at, see, what's the cash comps, even when I'm buying something for retail, right? I'm looking at what's the cash comps. I'm looking at what's the cash comps. And that's really it. I'm basing my stuff off what people buying cash for. If people paying 100K cash, if I know I got my property around like 65, 70, I know from the gate, I know I got nice equity in there because there's no rehabber out here buying at 100K, not trying to lose money. So I'm going to just back in. I'm not going to do all this extra stuff because sometimes sellers want your number fast. So if you want the numbers fast, I'm going to tell you. And I'm also going to say, hey, are you familiar with, St. Paul Street? Yeah, I'm familiar with St. Paul. Yeah, listen, I'm looking at a property around there. It just sold for around $49,000. That's before they paid the realtor fees, closing costs, something like everything like that. And it was, the time on market was 14 days. That's it's a ballpark you can be around. Yeah, it's okay. Knowing that they sold for around 49,000, and they had to pay realtor fees, they had to pay closing costs and stuff like that. What type of price would you consider for this particular property? Oh, maybe 40, 45, 50, right? And then you just can work your way down. I just off comps, like all the properties that I didn't board and I didn't rehab. I look at the lowest comp and I go 30 grand lower, right? And that because I know, like, first of all, as a wholesaler, I know I got spread there. And if I want to keep it and I want to do my further due diligence, I'm like, okay, cool. It's right there. Me personally, I don't like doing the 70% rule. It's too much because Malik might say the ARV is 150. Just might say the ARV is 140, right? So if I put it at 150, just going to say my number's too high. And then what if Malik is buying at 65% and not 75% and not 70%? it's just too many variables on that 70% offer. So I was like saying, what people paying for cash and go right under that. Just simple as plain as that. I don't like to be too overcomplicating things in the process, because when you overcomplicate it, that's how things can get, tricky. And then for me to get, like, if I wanted a list of buyers, I'll go back on that website, direct skip, and I'll reverse it and just go for corporate owned people and just target people like that. Just say, listen, y'all buying properties in the area, and buying properties in the area, because everybody's stuff is different. Like, I just tried to sell just a house this week for 39 grand. He wanted it, but it was a demolition list. So he passed, right? I sold a house today for $39,000, right? And the person didn't care it was on a demolition list. So every buyer is different. Every buyer is gonna want certain things, but Jess is also a wholesaler, so he's a little bit more picky. He also like wholesales and stuff like that, so he's a little bit more picky because he get the stuff direct, right? But another buyer will don't mind. Like, let me show y'all something real fast. I can show y'all a HUD. I'm actually closing on a deal with one of my students tomorrow, right? And I couldn't find nobody that paid me what I thought. And I got it for 70. We got this deal done for 70,000. I had it on the contract for 50,000, right? And I was going to actually keep this particular deal, but when I went in there, the rehab was too much, and it was like, the rehab was too much. I just, like, if you know me, like, I'm lazy and I don't like doing full rehabs. It's just too much, right? So we got us on the contract for 50, as you can see. Everybody's favorite title company in Philadelphia. Quick abstract. And then we sold this to a out of town buyer, for 70,000, right? And here is my me and my student right here. I'm making 6,500. He's making 10.5, right? And we actually put this on the list, the MLS. So that's another reason I like wholesale deals. I can put this stuff on MLS and have a realtor bring me a great buyer and don't do none of the work. So all I did was put this property under contract. I knew it was a great deal. I could have I looked at it like, okay, cool. I couldn't rehab it. So when I went there, I'm like, okay, let me rehab it. And my rehab cost came out to be like 135. And I was just like, oh, that's just a little bit too much. I don't really feel like doing that right now. So I was like, oh, cool, let me put it on the market. I put it on the market for 75,000. A few days later, we got a offer at 70. And then now we're going to closing tomorrow. And, me and my student's going to make some really good money on this particular deal, right? He's making 10.5. I'm making 6,500. But this is a deal that we passed on, right? We're making money on deals that we passed on with other investors. It wouldn't be possible, right? That's the reason why I say I won't stop wholesaling, because I'm finding great deals and I'm cherry picking them. And it's like, I got a house for free because a lady's husband cheated on her, and and his mistress is in the house, right? I turned around and sold it for 40,000. That's why I love wholesaling. Like, you can, like, I personally believe I make more money than rehabbers, hands down, because they in their project for 4 or 5 months, and they might take a 50K. They might do a 50K rip. I mean, I made 50K wholesaling. My biggest hotel check was like 78 grand. So I can make the same amount of money wholesaling. If it take you 6 months to be in a project, and that's 6 months, I could have, on a bad note, if I did one deal a month at 10K a pop, right? That's $60,000 without all the headache and stress of right? And then it was time for me to buy rentals. I'm buying the best of the best rentals. You're not going to see me, like, my rentals is like, like I got like great rentals on my like, I'm 50% ARV. That's because I'm cherry picking every time. Like I'm certain deals, like, I don't even, like, nobody even see them, because it's like, oh no, this joint too good to be true. Oh no, they crazy. You want 35,000 for this one? And the house down the block is sold for 225? No, this is I'm just gonna close on that one. You know what I'm saying? I just close on, hotel it, whatever.
Hey, real quick, let me jump in before we get too far. I'm gonna forget my couple of questions.
Go ahead.
So now, all right. So if there's no order, you might text the list and then come right back behind it with the call.
Yep, I did, because everybody's different, right? So it's never no structure. Like, certain people like texting, certain people like calling. So we just put it in. Like, I think how we do it, we might call first and then text, but it'd be time to where we'll be calling them and texting the list at the same time.
Okay.
That same day, we're like, my VAs is cold calling, and I got another set of VAs just texting that. But it's the same exact list, right? But we still get different leads that come out of it, right?
All right. So you said about 10,000 a week.
I'm doing about 10,000 a week right now.
So listen, so everybody that's scared to do 200 a week, we're doing 10,000 a week.
At my max, I was doing shit, like 5,000 a day. That was just 5,000 text messages and another maybe 2,500 cold calls. Might be able to do another 25, 300, 3,000 cold calls per day.
All right.
Might have called me today.
Say it again.
I said one of your VAs might have called me today.
Probably did, man. Like we call, like listen, we don't stop until because it's like that's where like the volume, like I'm able to say no and say like on these particular deals because I get so much volume, right? So it's just like I'm not stressed of a seller like, oh, I'm not, which I don't care. And I tell a seller that too, like I don't care. I'm taking the offer. Okay, cool. Next, I got 100 people to call. And I'm being dead honest. I got 100 people to call. I'm not worrying about you. That's the attitude you got to have when you're making these phone calls. It's like not everybody going to, take your, not going to say low ball offer, but anybody going to take the offer that's fit right for you. It's not a low ball offer because it fit right for us. People want us to not make money. We're not a nonprofit.
All right. So with that kind of volume, like how do you manage it? Like as far as like systems and SOPs.
My SOPs is one, I try my best not to actually deal with managing the list because that is really time consuming. Because like when you're at this stage, like it's really time consuming to actually getting the list and stuff like that. So my SOPs is really let me pull this up. I can pull something up for you.
What's SOP?
Standard operating procedure. So like what we had, say we got a text, like my whole text campaign is built out for the whole year. Like say if I want to hit, say if I'm got, let me show you something real fast. Say if I got like every list is different, right? So
Yeah, because I'm funny. I'm that way. If somebody call me, I'll shut them down as soon as they say the address. But if somebody texts me, I might engage just to see what they're trying to offer.